We sort of, once again, sort of assume that technology can just sort of step in and provide what has been really important forms of human care that have traditionally, again, been done by women over times in our history. And that's really sad that we're missing that opportunity, I think, to have those conversations and to really think deeply about how else we could potentially provide that care. And it may be that robots and technology are part of that, and a part of some sort of service of care, which is where many of the models are moving. But just to sort of assume that this stuff is going to solve all our problems for us, I think it is quite dangerous to be going forward with and to be enshrining in policies and sort of government approaches.
Right. And I think the point about it keeping us from having the serious conversation we need to have about the care economy and how that's going to function, I think is really important, and technology won't necessarily solve anything. Relatedly, the idea that these devices is somehow that they're going to reduce the amount of work that others of us in the household need to do, all the unpaid care work obligations, is in its own way problematic. And you cite Ruth Schwartz-Cowan's work. She's a co-author of mine, actually, about, for pointing out, even with, the introduction of things like microwaves and other things like that, that these devices often create more work because they then just change our expectations for what counts, as productivity. So now if we have these helper, we should be able to do even more. So Jenny, what are you about whether these devices are actually ultimately going to be labor saving, feed into the kind of cycle of demanding more productivity from us?
Yeah. I mean, they totally play into that. I mean, if you've got this personal assistant, then the idea is that you should be more organized and you should be able to achieve more in your day. So there's that kind of added pressure of having these devices, but there's another way that these devices are also, I guess, not fulfilling their promises of efficiency and time saving, in that the devices themselves need forms of care work. There's a lot of work that goes into deciding what kind of device to have, bringing it into the house, setting it up, troubleshooting whenever something goes wrong with the internet connection. And I guess, we're all spending more time at home. So I think we're all probably troubleshooting our own connectivity issues a lot more frequently than we would when we were working outside of the home. So it actually takes its own form of labor, which detracts from other types of things that you might have to do.